I've been saying for a long time that the Tories are losing the Conservative vote, and it turns out that one of their donors thinks the party has lost their way also. Let's take a look at this quick clip of Conservative Party donor Michael Spencer talking about the Tories.
I think the Prime Minister, if I might say, has let herself down personally by not being a champion of business to the extent that she could be or should be. You might make a legitimate excuse that she's been so busy on Brexit she hasn't had time to focus on it. But post-Brexit, this is one of the key issues the Conservative Party must address. The Conservative, I would say, have lost their way, not lost their ideology. And I feel optimistic, and indeed one of the reasons I stay involved in the party is as a representative or a supporter of the business community.
Interesting. So I've been saying for a while about the Tories, in fact not just me, I'm not going to claim to be some kind of prophet here, a lot of people have been saying this, but I've been saying that the Tories abandoned the Conservative vote, the social Conservative vote, a long time ago, becoming increasingly left-wing, moving towards the quote-unquote middle, towards Tony Blair. And they have done that, but it's not just that, because the Tories don't even seem to be championing business anymore, which is the bare minimum you would expect from the Tories. It's one of the key tenets of being a Conservative. Now, the City grandee Michael Spencer who's a big donor to the party, he thinks that Theresa May's lost her way and that the party must now address where it stands on enterprise, innovation and competitiveness, along with other industrial changes, he says. And he says that he's still involved with the party because he wants to be representative of the business community in the UK, to have a voice within the Tory party, but he wants to see action as well. And I don't blame him. If I was a Tory party donor as well, I'd want to see a bit more action. And I would agree that the Prime Minister, Theresa May, has let herself down. The party no longer resembles anything even remotely Conservative. I challenge you today. Name one Conservative policy from the Conservative Party. Just one. Put it in the comments. Prove me wrong. And he's right to say, by the way, that they're not championing business, because the Chequers deal, which Theresa May is endlessly pushing, despite the fact that the EU have said no over and over and over and over and over again, and Labour have said no, and her own party have said no, but she's still going for it. It offers us no real advantage for business. It's only the ERG, the European Research Group, and Jacob Rees-Mogg and co, who are actually willing to champion business, post-Brexit that is. So there's nothing to fear about leaving the EU on WTO rules or even agreeing on a free trade deal that works for us. The EU has already accepted a free trade deal and they're willing to do it. Isn't it time that the British government started thinking about business, big and small, and either working on a deal that the EU has already accepted and said that they would work with us on, or just telling them to do one and leaving the EU on our own terms, as the media would call it, crashing out of the EU, leaving with a no deal. May might tell us that her goal is to protect business, and she definitely does tell us that, but it's telling that one of the party's biggest donors is speaking out about it. Spencer voted to remain in the EU, by the way, but he respects the democratic decision made by the people and wants the Tories to make good on that decision and to do a deal that benefits business. When you do deals that benefits business, particularly small and medium business, you're doing a deal that benefits the people, protects the British people, protects workers, protects jobs, protects the economy, protects our livelihood. It all filters down to the basic point of how can the government work to benefit its citizens? You've got to protect business. And as Jacob Rees-Mogg put it just a couple of nights ago in his speech, there's a brilliant report by the House of Lords from March last year with a committee mainly of Remainers saying the legal position is absolutely clear. If we leave on WTO terms, we are under no obligation to pay a penny, not a brass farthing. We would not owe them anything and we would immediately be able to trade with the world. Now that sounds like protecting business to me, and it also sounds like the Tory party of old. Theresa May, I think it's time for you to start listening to Jacob Rees-Mogg. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, remember to like and subscribe.